Yo, 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 what's cracking, people? What is crack-a-lackin'? What's happening? I haven't been live in a minute. Actually, I was live a couple days ago. I went over the Senate hearing. I deleted the video. I went over the Senate hearing in the United States, the Health Senate. I don't even know how to say it. I don't know what the title was, but basically we reacted to one of Dr. Chris Palmer's things. We reacted to Chris Palmer's testimony at Senate, and it was, I mean, dude, if you guys haven't seen it, if you haven't seen any of the Senate hearings from last 2 weeks ago, you should definitely go and check it out. I realize that I have been gone for a few weeks, and I'm sorry about that. I've been focusing a lot on other shit, to be honest with you. But yeah, I want to start regularly coming on live again. I know I've said that before, but this is true. This is true this time. I really do want to get back to going live more frequently. So I just wanted to come on here and chop it up, see if you guys have any questions about POTS syndrome. Recently, I have been dealing with some chronic illness stuff again, at least what I would consider to be chronic illness things. And I don't know if you guys have seen the videos recently or not, but they've been about like my journey through chronic illness and what I'm doing. And so recently I kind of realized that I wasn't taking my own advice. I wasn't doing the things that I personally tell people to do. And not so much in the sense like I wasn't staying active, hydrating, exercising, all that stuff, because that all stays the same for me, no matter what. But I would be lying if I didn't say that. So basically what I've been dealing with a lot lately has been chronic pain. I've been like having aches and pains and all this stuff. And a lot of people can say things like, well, the workouts that you do, that's probably what's causing it. The intensity, that definitely contributes to it. I'm not gonna take that away. It definitely contributes to it. But a big portion is like, people just shouldn't be in that much pain all the time. Like there's no reason that I should have been getting injured as often as I've gotten injured in the past 2 years. There's no reason that I should be in constant pain, like nagging, aching pains. And one of my things that I realized I was doing that's been keeping me sick, because I do think that this is sick, right? Being in constant pain. One of the things that I have been doing is I'm really strict on my diet. Well, not really strict. I'll get into the nitty gritty if you guys want to know. Like this video if you guys do want to know, or hit a comment in the chat. But diet has played a huge role in, I think, how I've been feeling, especially as of late. And if you guys watch the Senate hearing, it'll be super obvious. All the things that I've been reading, I've been doing a lot of research lately. I've been back in my books. I've been back into the research. I'm actually considering going back to school very part-time for either biochem or nutritional science because of this stuff. I've been watching a lot of Chris Master John. I signed up for his Substack, all these different things. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. Like Monday through Friday at like noon, I'm strict every single day for the most part about diet. But then what I had been doing is I'm like, I'm okay, you know, everything's good. And I should have got the signal about 2 years ago that something was up. But every single weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I wouldn't be strict. I wouldn't be adherent to a diet. I wouldn't be even somewhat strict. Now, that's not to say that I don't think that when you're healthier, that you have the ability or possess the ability to have cheat meals here and there, but it wasn't really cheating. It was like the other half of my week, I wasn't being good on my diet. I was like making up for not being good on my diet on the weekends, if you guys can picture what I'm saying. So like lunch and dinner, I'd have something that I knew I shouldn't be having, right? Or shouldn't be having. And so, yeah, I should have gotten privy to this about 2 years ago when I started to actually like have consistent aches and pains and started getting injured, like big injuries. I should have gotten privy to this, but I was kind of in denial. So something that I've been doing to correct this is I have not cheated on my diet once. In fact, we went out to eat yesterday and I asked the waitress, I said, hey, I want the wings. Nothing, like no sauce, nothing, no seasoning. I just want wings. I want 20 or 18 wings, right? I order the wings, but then I ask her, what are they like? How you guys grill them, right? Is there anything on them? She goes, yeah, there's margarine. And then I said, okay, fine. I actually ended up getting the waitress and telling her, cancel my order. I sat there and I watched my girlfriend eat because I'm taking it so seriously. I just want to make sure that the inflammation and everything goes away. I just want to get better. And then the other things I've been doing is like the health testing stuff that I've shown you guys in videos. I did the mycotoxins test. I did the organic acids test, and now I'm getting a food sensitivity test rather than food allergy test as well. Funny enough, and I've backed off on like really intense training. I'm still training intensely, but in a different way. I'm focusing more on aerobic stuff. I'm doing CrossFit twice a week only. I'm doing bodybuilding 3 times a week, and I'm so like 2 days out of the week, I have 2-a-days. I do a long bike ride in the morning, and then I'll do like bodybuilding a few hours after that. The next day, I do some sort of just like, what do I do that day? I do CrossFit on Tuesdays. So Monday is the endurance ride and bodybuilding. Tuesday is CrossFit and skill maintenance stuff. Wednesday is, again, a very long endurance piece. So like I think this upcoming week I have a 2-hour bike ride, so probably somewhere around like 40 miles. Thursday, I do a run. So I think this week I have 5 miles to do. And then Friday is bike ride again, and then a bodybuilding session. Saturday is CrossFit. And actually this Saturday I'll be in Nashville, getting flown out to Nashville to do some work. So yeah, I've backed off. So I'm really starting to take this seriously, and I'm trying to practice what I preach again, because I tell you guys all the time, when you notice things, back off. When you notice things, change, something's got to change. Something has to change. I don't want to be in pain anymore, right? And magically, my inflammation is lowering. Justin takes his own advice. Inflammation is lowering. Things are working. And this all comes down to like mitochondrial and cellular health, energy metabolism, things of that nature. And yeah, I want to start deep diving into that on these lives. I actually want to make these lives a little bit more educational, go through like books and studies with you guys and do some research live. I think that'd be really good, because then I can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? I can interact with community and do the research that I like want to do and need to do. And yeah, help you guys out along the way too. Tori Brooks Maga. I don't know how to say your last name. Sorry. I went back to school to get a psychology and sociology degree to understand my autism and CPTSD. Nice. Tori Brooks Maga. That was on top of my medical training in the U.S. Going back to school to be able to better advocate for care is real. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't believe that you have to go to school in order to do this stuff. Good for you, by the way. I don't think that you have to go to school in order to do this stuff professionally or to come off as an expert. But I do think that there's something to it, right? Like if you go to school and you learn cellular biology or, all these different things, like you have a better chance at actually understanding and being able to help people and approach people in that way. Because I have thought about just like buying textbooks, like buying actual textbooks and then reading through them myself. But that doesn't really give you the skill of like testing your knowledge, I guess, in a way, right? Like the school system, I'm not a big fan of college. I'm just not. But I do think that there's utility, especially for people who just like want to go back to school. I don't think that school is a necessity for people to like be successful and get, and make money and stuff like that. I definitely don't think that. But yeah, I kind of want to do it. This is another thing that I'm seeing a lot of recently are the different subcategories of not of PTSD, but like OCD and stuff. I don't know what CPTSD is. And you do not have to share if you don't want to. You guys, I'm here to answer any questions. I think something that might be interesting is talking about like what food I believe has been causing this inflammation or some things to go wrong in my body. And to be honest with you, I have no clue. What I believe to be wrong is that I have some sort of like leaky gut or gut dysbiosis. I've always had digestive issues. I've been bloated for as long as I can remember. And you guys, unfortunately, I have to preface before I say all this stuff. unfortunately, that was part of the sacrifice that I had to make for 2.5 years while I was chasing the goal of being a high level athlete. It's common, and this is just what my naturopath also just told me. It's very common for athletes to have leaky gut and gut dysbiosis, things of that nature, because the amount of calories that we have to put in our body and the quality of calories, right? So like for someone like me who needs to make sure or needed to make sure that I was getting enough calories to fuel training, it just had to be so that I was eating some shitty food. It just had to be that way because I couldn't afford to be bloated and not train and not be able to train to my full extent because of food, right? I just needed to eat whatever I could put down. So if that meant I needed to eat noodles or if I needed to eat some sort of sweets, Rice Krispie treats, things of that nature in order to be able to get calories in to train or to recover from training, that's just how it had to be. Which POTS symptoms do you still have? Is it cured? Do you experience MSAS? So my POTS symptoms that I still have, I don't really think that I have many POTS symptoms. I get dizzy sometimes standing up or, especially during a workout, but that's the nature of the intensity of workout that I do. So I can't really say that it's from POTS. I get heart palpitations from time to time, but they're not worrisome. I don't know if that's an effect from POTS. I've had those ever since I was younger. I tend to now think that there is no such thing as POTS symptoms and that they are reactions to your metabolic health. And POTS is one of the manifestations or one of the symptoms of the overall system being broken. That's what I tend to think. MSAS, no, I don't really have like histamine issues or any of that stuff. I don't have any of that. Although I think when I was younger, I dealt with more MSAS stuff because when I was younger, I would get hives just out of nowhere, bro. I would get hives. It would like my chest, it felt like I couldn't breathe, things of that nature. So I'm starting to like really, really connect the dots from things from when I was a child all the way up until now, because my main concern right now is being able to live a fully healthy life, no symptoms at all about anything. So like, again, my main symptoms right now is just achy, joint pains and consistently getting injured. I want all this stuff to go away because my main concern is to be a good dad. And I want to get back into competing. I'm preparing for these like running races, because I'm feeling good. So I'm getting ready for a 10K at the end of this month. Next month, I'm going to do a 15K. The one that I'm really excited for is in February when it's supposed to be cold as hell. I am going to do a 6-hour trail run. And the whole point of it is just to go as far as you can in 6 hours. That's what it is. There's an ultra version too. So there's a 20-hour one. There's a 12-hour one, 6, 12, and 20, I think. Yeah. So those are my main goals right now. And then hopefully do a 100-mile mountain bike ride in like a month. Or not in a month, in April. What other questions do we got? Go ahead and sign in with some questions. You guys, I want to show you who I think you should all go go follow and subscribe to. Someone that I highly recommend. So I've talked to you guys about Dr. Tyler Pansner before. And there's this other guy, Chris Masterjohn. I think that this guy is an absolute... He's an absolute treasure of a human being. I think you guys should all check this guy out here. All right. This dude right here. He goes through, dang, part of the top is cut off. Shoot. But he talks about a lot of really cool stuff. Why your allergies might just be a sulfur problem, which, by the way, was the first thing that I actually thought about. So this is the dude. In energy metabolism governs everything. I reported that 75 milligrams of riboflavin abolished my seasonal allergies. So you guys, I really, really, really recommend this dude. A lot of his stuff. Sulfur has been... So I worked with Dr. Tyler Pansner. You guys know that. And one of the things that he said, gene mutations wise, that I had was basically my body's inability. I think it's the suffix gene. My body was not able to clear sulfur the same as like some other people because of one of the mutations that I have. So wait, let me see if I'm out of there. All right. So because of that, I was thinking that a lot of my joint pains and stuff was coming from sulfur. So I started taking this supplement called molybdenum. And molybdenum has actually done wonders for me. Alongside that, ketone IQ has done really well for me too. I'll get into that in a different live, but I think that those are two supplements that could help a lot of people. I actually believe ketones are like way underrated after doing some research on them. Have you ever had any rheumatism autoimmune blood tests? No, I have not. I haven't. Why? The things that I'm most concerned about are like lactate, oxalates, mycotoxins, so like mold and parasite. Those are the things that I'm most because of the joint pain. No, I'm not concerned with really anything. Like, I don't believe that I have like rheumatoid arthritis or something like that, if that's what you're, alluding to, or that it's an autoimmune response. And if it was an autoimmune response, which actually, no, I'll take it back. I think it might be autoimmune. But if it is that, I don't really think that I need to take a test. I just have to fix the autoimmunity, right? So like, if I do all the things that fix autoimmunity, if I like heal my gut, if I clean up my diet, if I, take care of mold, if I take care of like parasite, if that's an issue, the autoimmunity should also clear up. So I don't need to really I know a lot of POTS people want all the testing, a lot of chronically ill people in general, because, and again, not trying to be insensitive, but it's because of all the people that I've worked with, right? They all want all the testing. They all want all the testing instead of just going to like the root testing, right? Like, well, let's make sure this. I still don't believe in that. I believe in looking at root causes. What are the things that all of these things stem from? So autoimmunity, the gut, your body's ability to actually digest and, get rid of waste and food and things of that nature, and making sure that, it's not, the food isn't getting through the junctions of your gut wall, that type of stuff. So I want to focus on the deep and then go out, right? And mycotoxins is something that I'm curious about because my whole life I've lived in old buildings, like older houses, older apartments, all that stuff. So I think that it would make sense that maybe there's some sort of mold toxicity, especially with some of the symptoms that I've had. Like moving into this house, more tired than usual. I've always been an early riser and good with rising early, waking up. And I mean, lately I've been doing that too. Part of that is just routine, to be honest with you. Part of that is definitely just routine. Lately I've been getting up at 5:30 mostly every morning, except for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, still get up at like 7 so I can work out. And then Sunday, whatever really feels good. But yeah. Feels good to be live again and interacting in the chats or with the chat, guys. Feels really good. I like health. I like to talk about health. I want to talk more about it. Have I ever had dry eyes? Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know that I've ever had like a problem with dry eyes though, like from time to time. I don't know. What is dry eyes, you know? I feel like my eyes are dry right now, but they're not bothering me, you know? I have a friend that was just complaining about dry eyes this week, weirdly enough. What does that mean though? Exactly. I don't even know what that means. Like, how does that feel? Like, would it bother you? Is that when it's an issue or something? Let me know. I get itchy eyes from time to time. I'll tell you this. Our dog was in bed with us, and at like 4 a.m. the other day, I just felt like something hairy go across my lip, and I freaked out. I woke up, I was like, what the hell? Put his ass right in my face, this dog, and laid down. Disgusting. It's gross. So I'm giving this diet again 4 to 6 weeks on with no cheating whatsoever. And I've already started to recognize some things actually. Like blueberries seem to be a trigger for me because in the mornings after I eat this amazing like yogurt bowl at night now instead of doing a smoothie because I'm just too lazy to make smoothies now. But it's just yogurt, blueberries, honey or maple syrup, some heavy cream, like frozen blueberries, and just like stir it up, put it in the freezer, and oh my goodness gracious, is it amazing? It's amazing. But blueberries seem to be messing with my tummy. Weirdly enough. Had somebody complain about it and other health issues, and they also think about mold in their house is the problem. Yeah, it could be. I mean, good thing that there's specific testing for it. You know, there's specific testing for mycotoxins, and you can test your house for mold as well. And it's pretty cheap. You can go on Amazon, just type in mold tests, like houses, and they have some pretty accurate ones for pretty cheap, which is amazing. That's phenomenal. While we're doing this, I'm actually talking to some clients on the interwebs. I'm talking to clients on my iPad because we still have to update programs. We have to update some programs. You heard? Which, by the way, I have 3 spots for online coaching left. Only 3. So if you guys are interested, hurry up and hop on it. We only have 3 spots left. That's all I'm taking. And soon I'm gonna close my books for coaching too, for a while. I want to just really give my all to all the clients that I do have right now. I'm really trying to dial in and focus on that. And I'm thinking about releasing some sort of ebook type deal for like $20 for more people to have access to. I'm thinking about just like putting all this stuff together really short, like 5-10 pages maybe. Just putting everything together in one place where people can download a PDF, all the things that I believe for POTS syndrome and how I think that people should handle it, all the things that like give me and my clients success. Thinking about putting it all together in just like a 5 to 10 page ebook for people to buy for like $20 and just let it be out there. I think that'd be a good idea because obviously I can't coach everyone, and I'm going to like make it more, the coaching, I guess, more exclusive. Because I realized that I charge kind of a premium. I charge a little bit, I charge a good penny for coaching. And yeah, I'm going to raise the price again after these 3 fill in, take like 5 more at the new price. And then I'm going to close books and then I'm just going to have a waiting list. What do you guys think about the idea of an ebook? Like a 5 to 10 page ebook. Where's Mick Saltsy at, dude? I'm just kidding. I know where Mick is. I know what he'd be doing. Happy for him. Wish he'd go live with us, though. I wish he would go live with us. What are you guys mostly interested in knowing, too? Like, do you guys only want to know about POTS syndrome? Or do you want to know more about, like, chronic health, chronic illness? Like, what is it that you guys are mostly concerned with? Because to me, to be honest with you guys, POTS is so one-dimensional, and I feel like it's the same answers that you give to people with more than just POTS syndrome, right? Like, I think people look at it super one-dimensional, and they're like, I have POTS syndrome, so I need to address POTS syndrome. And kind of how my practice has been, like with clients and stuff, the entire time has been addressing the system as a whole and doing the things that are beneficial for you no matter what condition that you have that we know actually improves overall health. And so that's what I really tend to like focus on when helping people with POTS. Like, what can I do to improve their overall health? Because improving their overall health is actually going to take care of POTS syndrome. That's my belief. What are you guys actually interested in knowing about? The weather recently has been crazy too, guys. Crazy. Big prayers for Florida. All right, guys, hit me with questions. Hit me with questions about POTS or what's it called? Questions about POTS or overall health. Whatever questions you want to ask that I might be able to help with. Remember, if you're on here, please like the video. It helps push the algo. Channel is growing, funny enough. And I've only posted like, I don't know, twice in 2 weeks. Haven't really been posting that much, which is interesting. Andy Pace, do you find breathwork, breathing exercises to be helpful with POTS syndrome? Yeah, that's a good question. For some people, yeah. For other people, and it depends heavily on the breathwork practice. For some people, yes. For other people, very much so, no. There's some people that like breathwork, depending on the breathwork practice. People get very panicky. And so for those people, definitely do not recommend breathwork. There's just some people. Actually, I'll take that back. If you think that you can work through the panic that the breathwork is causing, and you think it's just like acute and it's just you being anxious, or if you can be subjective about that, then yes, I do think that it could be beneficial for you. But if you're somebody who like knows that you get in a panic when you feel uncomfortable and thinks that it's going to set you off and completely like, ruin your day, then no, I don't believe that it's going to be helpful. Over the long term, if you're the person who's able to realize like this is uncomfortable right now, the breath work is just sending me into a panic because it's something that I don't do often. It doesn't feel right now, but long term it's going to benefit me, then yes, absolutely, unequivocally, I say yes to that. I think that you should do it. We know breath work has benefits for so many different things in the body. A lot of people aren't breathing properly throughout the day. In general, even there, I just took a deep mouth breath, right? I think personally, though, the pillars that work the best for POTS immediately before focusing on breath work is making sure that your diet is in check. And so what that means is keeping track of your diet that you are currently using right now, having a notebook handy or an app that you use to write things down. And anytime that you eat something within 30 minutes to 2 hours, you write down the symptom that you're feeling and how long it lasted, if you get symptoms at all. The other thing, so that way you can like figure out what foods might be messing with you. What foods do you need to eliminate for a little bit? The other things that I always recommend to every single client, make sure that you got your hydration on point. Make sure you're drinking enough sodium, enough potassium, enough magnesium. So for me, this is a 46 ounce Yeti. I have 3 of these a day, and I have 3 element packets a day. On top of that, I might have, what's it called? Like a sparkling water, not a liquid IV. What's it called? A liquid death or something of that nature. And then trying to get on a normal sleep cycle. So a lot of people with POTS don't, and I have a podcast with this. Her name was Dr. Justine Lucchini. You guys can check out that podcast about sleep. Or interview on this channel about sleep. A normal sleep schedule will do wonders for people with POTS. So making sure that you're going to bed at an appropriate time and making sure that you're doing that consistently, and then waking up consistently at the same time every single day. Having a schedule like that does wonders for people with POTS. Your circadian rhythm is so freaking important for so many different reasons. I don't have enough time to get into it during this live, but that's the pillar number 2 after diet. I say diet is number 1 because it's, you're ingesting it. It's what you're made out of. And another thing about diet, making sure that you're eating enough, make sure that you're eating enough. It's oftentimes for people with POTS that they're grossly underfed or grossly overfed, not eating just enough. And so I want people to mainly focus on calories first when they're thinking about nutrition, making sure that you're getting enough calories first, because I've stopped people's pass out episodes in the morning by just dialing in their nutrition. That's one thing that a lot of people with POTS just don't think about, is what is the quantity of food that they actually need. They just think it's about the quality of food. And at the end of the day, it really is about the quality of food. But if you're only eating quality food and you're not getting enough quantity, there's going to be a deficit there. And the deficit's not good. So once you get the quantity of food figured out, then figuring out how to fill all those gaps with the quality of food is going to be second. But I want people to feel better first, so getting enough calories. After that, we can do all this stuff where, and I'm not saying by any means that you should be eating a bunch of shitty food to get enough calories, just making sure that you're eating 95% good food, 5% bad if you have a hard time getting all the calories in. Because a lot of people with POTS don't have an appetite either. Or they have too much of an appetite. And so, or not too much of an appetite, but whatever appetite they have, they're eating all shitty food with that, the window of, needing to eat they have. So focusing on diet in that way, then making sure that it's all quality food after that, obviously for a whole host of reasons. We're not going to get into that. I truly think that quality of food is much more important than we ever thought. Then it's sleep. The other things is trying to get sun, making sure that, trying to get sun in the morning and at night. I know you guys have probably heard this from Andrew Huberman and all these people with podcasts on the grinders, all those people, they talk about it often, but it really is important and it will change the game for you. It absolutely will if you do it consistently. The fourth thing is eliminating stressors. Now, stress, I think people have a really skewed view on. They think that stress always has to be something tragic, right? And the trauma comes from things that are tragic all the time. Like somebody's dog has to die in order for that. Like they think that normal stress throughout the day is just normal. And it's not. If you have chronic stress, no matter what it's from, that's not normal, nor is it good for you. So how do you eliminate that? Unfortunately, it usually comes in the form of people and getting rid of people in your life and doing things that you hate, getting rid of that. But most people get caught up in the monotony of things and they're comfortable. They don't want to get uncomfortable for 2 weeks and get rid of something that's bad for them, right? Relationships are huge. The people that you spend your time with, huge. And it's gonna cost you your life if you're constantly stressed out. Literally, it's gonna cost you your life. You will die earlier from heart disease or whatever. And that all these things that I just mentioned to you guys come down to the same thing, which is your metabolic health, right? Your digestive system and your gut flora respond to stressors in your life, and it literally changes. The way that you see sun per day does the same thing. The food that you're eating does the same thing. Your sleep schedule does the same thing. They all have effects on your biology. And I'm not saying that you have to get it all right, 100% all right, but you got to get it down pretty good. And what I think is interesting, those are the 4 top things, by the way, that I have. What I think is interesting, and it's not exclusive to people with POTS. The 5th thing would be exercise, getting activity in. And you guys know my take on that, right? Which is exercise doesn't need to look the same for everybody. It doesn't need to look like 30 minutes a day, intense exercise. It could be exercise snacks, as Rhonda Patrick talks about. Maybe I'll show you guys what that means in a minute. But exercise snacks, it could be, I tell a lot of my clients, I'll assign them a workout for the day. And I say to them, hey, if you can't get all this work done in one session, that's totally fine. You can do one exercise, take a break for a couple hours, go and do the next exercise. As long as you have exercise equipment at home or your steps, you don't need to go for a big long walk. You can walk, make it a point to get up every 10 minutes and walk to your fridge and back. Set an alarm so that you can walk around your house and go back and lay down or go and sit down, whatever you have to do. But make it a point to consistently become active, consistently be active. But the hardest thing that every single person with POTS, like that I have had the pleasure of working with, the main factor to most people having not already been better or curing themselves or getting better, or even when they're working with me, the main thing that keeps people back, holds people back, is consistency. And it all comes down to instant gratification. Everybody says how much they want to feel better, how much they want to get better. I want to be healthy. I want to get back to normal life, but you won't do the shit necessary. Like, you'll do it for 2 weeks because you're on a high. Yeah, I'm finally doing what I got to do. I'm getting my exercise in, blah, 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 blah. But then it starts to become mundane again. It's not as exciting, right? It's the instant gratification. You got to chase instant gratification for 2 weeks. I'm finally doing something for myself. Yes, this feels awesome. And then when it doesn't feel awesome anymore, when you don't have that dopamine spike because you're finally doing something different, they revert back to their old ways. And I'm here to tell you guys, like, this is a consistent, constant battle. You will never not have to be 90% consistent, 95% consistent. You will never not have to be that way, especially if you're fighting for true health. You will never not have to work on it. You'll get to a point where maintaining it will be a lot easier, but there's still work to be done. You still have to do the shit. I'm 7-8 years past diagnosis, and I have been able to eradicate what I think is POTS symptoms, but I understand that I have chronic health deficiencies, right? I have chronic health deficiencies, and I understand it's something that I have to pay attention to, and I'm going to have to work on and continually think about for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. But I'm okay with taking 4 weeks of eating the same shit every single day because I don't need that instant gratification. I need to feel better. The delayed gratification is going to give me something much greater than eating the stupid piece of ice cream or a stupid scoop of ice cream will ever get me. And this is something that I need you guys to understand. Watching this, I need you to understand. If you want to feel better, you have to be consistent. You have to do the shit. You have to prove it. Just saying it is not going to do it for you. Just saying it will not do it for you. The speaking shit into existence stuff, it doesn't work if you don't do the work. Like, I could never expect myself to get better if I just laid on my bed and said, I really want to get better. I really want to get better. I really want to get better. Why would God give me that? I'm not willing to do the work. You guys need to do the freaking work, man. And it's the same theme every single time. I was doing really good for 3 weeks, but I popped off. Dude, you've been sick for a year, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. You think that 3 weeks is enough? Like, you started to finally feel better after 3 weeks, and then you messed up. You ate popcorn, or you did whatever the shit you weren't supposed to do because you got cocky. And you expect to be, why do you think you deserve that? God's not going to reward that. We don't even have to talk about God. Why should your body reward you with that? Makes no sense. And when you pay attention, you guys, if you do this stuff for a prolonged period of time, you will understand and you will start to see the way you feel is much more satisfying than the slice of pizza. The way that you're feeling is much more satisfying than sitting down and watching Netflix. You're going to be excited to get up every 20 minutes to go get a few steps in. You're going to be excited every single day to go hit 30 minutes of cardio. You're going to be excited to go hit an hour of weight training when you feel better. You're going to feel blessed. You're going to be like, I finally got it back. I don't want to let this go. You're going to feel excited to drink your water every single day. You're going to be like, no, I don't want to go out and I don't want to drink on Friday, Saturday night. Andy Pace, do you find that people with POTS have more difficulty in the morning, and do you have any tips? I still face a bit of morning grogginess, more symptoms. It goes away with hydration, but it's frustrating. Yeah, a lot of times that does seem to be the case. In that case, specifically what I would do is I would pay attention to what are you doing in the leading hours going to bed? The leading up to going to bed, what are you doing? So, like, what are you eating? It could be a blood sugar issue. What are you drinking? Could be a sodium issue. Maybe you're not getting sufficient hydration before bed. One tip that I do give to a lot of my POTS clients is, like, especially if they're feeling that, is try to make sure to push off some of your sodium dosing 2 before bed. Another thing that it could be, I've helped people with that by but telling them to take magnesium L-threonate before bed, or even right in the morning. But yeah, a lot of my POTS people do tend to have difficulties in the morning. You guys, there's just no excuses anymore. I get so many excuses, and even people that want to come on here and argue with me during live. I get so many people that want to argue and give excuses about why they can't do things, why they can't stick to something, why they can't this, why they can't that. Yo, there's so much shit. If your excuse is money, sleeping doesn't cost money. Getting outside in the morning and at night doesn't cost money. Doing steps does not cost money. Doing push-ups, doing air squats, doing light jogs, that stuff does not cost money. It's not an excuse. Time, not an excuse. We can do exercise snacks. I'll even show you guys the video from Dr. Rhonda Patrick explaining why exercise snacks are so important. You know, and this, again, it's something that I talk to my clients about a lot, is just setting a timer and doing some steps throughout the day. That's free. You have enough time. I have enough time. If I have enough time, guaranteed a lot of you guys have enough time. Let's just say that. Because of my schedule, if I have enough time, you definitely have enough time. You know, it's just, it blows my mind. I don't feel good enough to do this, that, and the third. I guarantee you're not in the... I've worked with the worst of the worst cases of POTS, okay? I've worked with bedridden, hospital-bound people. If they have the ability to do some of the stuff that I'm asking them to do, like get up every 10 minutes and just take 2 minutes to walk to your fridge and back, you got enough in you. You have enough energy. You do. And that accumulates over time. But damn, do a lot of you guys come up with so many excuses for no reason. So many excuses for no reason. And I'm empathetic and I am sympathetic, but that doesn't mean being empathetic or sympathetic excuses you from making dumb excuses. I understand a lot of people are sick. I understand a lot of people are suffering. Okay, but I don't want to hear about that anymore. I want to hear about what are you going to do to get better. That's what I want to hear about. I understand. I heard you out. I've heard your story. I've heard a bunch of people's stories on here. I get it. They're sick people. I was sick too. I thought I was going to lose my entire life, like everything that I had in life, due to POTS syndrome. I get it. If there's somebody that gets it, it's me. I understand. Not only did I go through it myself, but I've worked with I don't even know how many people with POTS now, and their lives have turned completely around. So I get it. Nobody on here could tell me something new. No one could. And again, I've worked with the worst of the worst. No one here can tell me something new. There's no excuses. There are ways, and some cases take longer than others. Sometimes you got to build up. Yes, absolutely. I've had people that didn't feel better until a year of working together. I've had that. But consistency is consistency. And consistency breeds success. If you're willing to do it for a year, if you're willing to do it for 90 days, you're probably going to get better. And as long as you put in the work, but no one can give me excuses anymore, yo. No one. My channel has all the tips. If you don't have money for coaching from me, the POTS coach, or to buy an ebook or whatever, my channel has all the tips. Go through the videos. I've said this in a million lives. Go through it. But I do not mess with these comments or like, dude, look, part of the reason why I stopped posting so much was because I was just so sick of woe is me stories. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you guys. I was so sick of the woe is me shit. I was so sick of it. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And so I just stopped posting because it was actually impacting my mental health. Like I was getting stressed out, reading comments and fighting with people and stuff like that. Now I'm just paying no mind to it. Now I just pay no attention to it. The whole point is stay consistent. There's just no excuses anymore. There's no excuses. And realize that you are going to be your own worst enemy. You will be the only person that's your own worst enemy. Don't blame shit on other people. Well, my husband this, my wife this, or they made me do that. No. They didn't make you do shit. Nobody made you do anything. The majority of you people watching here are grown-ass adults. You can handle your own. And if you don't have a supportive partner, sorry, guess what? Dump them. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. The breakup is hard. The heartbreak is hard. But you know what sucks even more is a person that won't help you get better and don't give a shit if you're getting better, and you continue to get worse because you don't feel supported. That's even worse. Family around you, kick them out of your life if they're stressed, if they're too much. Why not? You're going to give up your life and your health for other people? Come on now. You can't stick to a diet for 6 to 8 weeks without cheating at all. Why? Because your mouth is drooling? Because you don't have enough self-control? Give it a rest, dude. Give me a break. I mean, geez, dude. Some people here, dude. This isn't just exclusive to people with POTS either, but damn, bro. Like, give me a break. You guys, like, some of these people, even me, dude, when I'm doing this, when I'm like going off to you guys, I'm not just talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. Like my old self, I've definitely done the same thing, fallen into patterns like that. Absolutely. I'm not a superhero. I'm human. But damn, dude, some of this shit really pisses me off, dude. Angela Burns, great idea. I don't know what I said that was a great idea. What's up, Angela? Good to see ya. Good to see you in here. It's wild, dude. It's wild. There's just no excuses, guys. There's no excuses. You want to get better? Do the things to get better. I appreciate your message regarding consistency. Out of curiosity, do you work with a lot of people who got POTS from a COVID infection? I have had many clients that got POTS from COVID infection. Yes. I've worked with many people from that. But look, it all seems to come down to the same stuff, right? It all seems to come down to the same stuff. Enhancing your metabolic, cellular health, mitochondria, all that, right? Like, I didn't understand. Look, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I didn't understand for a long time why what I was doing with people was helping people. I didn't understand, like, not that I didn't understand it, right? Because I understand why exercise affects certain systems in your body. I understand that. I understand why diet affects certain organs in your body and all these things. I understood all that. I understand that. I understand why certain vitamins and minerals work. I understand why sodium, works, all this stuff. But all of this stuff ends up going down to the same thing. All these doctors that are chasing longevity, health, and all these things, it all comes down to the same thing. It's just metabolic health, cellular health, mitochondrial health. It all comes down to the same thing. When people are sick, what's happening, right? The immune response causes inflammation, things that so it's like you just got to do the things that improve the roots of the tree, watering it, right? So you have dead branches on a tree. That could be your POTS syndrome. That could be your autoimmune condition. That blah, 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 blah. But the roots of the tree, if they're not getting water, it's not going to heal the whole system. It's not going to make it grow. So you got to water the tree. And so what do you do? And when I talk to a lot of people with POTS, they're just not honest about the things that are happening, because it'll come out 2 weeks later like, yeah, you know what? I realized that I do eat a lot of sugar or something like that. Or they're not that they're not honest. I'll take that back. So like I'll get on a call with somebody. I'll ask them briefly about their diet, their lifestyle, boom, 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 boom. And none of the like bad stuff comes out. And then when I tell them I need you to track this, boom, 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 all this stuff, then that's when all the stuff comes out. That's when all of the nuances come out. Like, so Monday and this is what I ate on Monday. I'll see like sugar, or I'll see like trends, right? Most recently, I saw somebody with like coconut seemed to be a trigger for them, and they kept doing that. And then it would be like sugar every single day somehow, like refined sugar, and then like no activity at all. And that's not how they described it on the phone whatsoever, right? But like when you make people track things, they start to see that, oh, I actually am not as active as I thought that I was. I actually don't eat as healthy as I thought that I did. So you start to see these things. And so, yeah, you start to see trends and you start to understand like people are not really taking care of their health in the way that they think that they were. So, yeah, I believe that writing an ebook is the next step here. To be honest, that's where I think that this is going for me. What kind of lives would you guys like to see? You know, would you like me to would you like me to do a topic, like pick a topic, research the topic for like a week and then come back and do a big live on that, like an hour or two of researched, you know, informative information, or like a show like that? Or do you like when I just like hop on here and get to ranting and like start like yelling at people, you know, yelling at you guys? What do you guys want to see? I'm reading the book right now, Good Energy by Casey Means. Is it Casey Means? Let me see. Yeah, Casey Means. And that's really good. It's a really good book. I recommend to any of you guys. I really recommend you watching this. I want to share with you guys, though, real quick, a concept that I've been talking about for a long time. I believe that I've talked about this a lot on my channel, and that is exercise snacks. I started recommending this to clients of mine, not in the same way that I'm about to show you from Dr. Rhonda Patrick, but I started recommending this to a lot of my clients because I noticed a common trend was that people with POTS a lot of times don't have the energy, you know, in what they're saying is they don't have enough energy to actually get all of their workout done in one session. So for those of you that actually have the ability to get up, well, everybody has the ability, by the way, to get up and get to working out. I want to show you guys, I want to share with you guys something. This is a theory, again, that I have been talking about for a long time. I've been saying, set your timers for every 10 minutes or 20 minutes and go for steps to the kitchen or walk around your house, whatever. But there's a doctor, there's a doctor, her name is Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she has talked about the science on this in terms of HIIT training, high intensity interval training. So I want to share with you guys this real quick. And actually, I got the pleasure to be at this talk that she gave, which was at the CrossFit for Health seminar. And I can't believe I didn't talk to you guys about this earlier, but I think that this could be really beneficial for you. So let me switch over to that real quick and show you guys Dr. Rhonda Patrick. So you guys have probably seen this woman from the Joe Rogan podcast. She's been on it a lot, but check this out. So should we do 2-minute snack? Let's do 1-minute snack. Yeah.
So let's.
So this actually isn't the talk that I got to see, but it's the same idea. I was going to click the other video. It said 2 minutes, but for those of you that say, I don't have time or I don't have the energy, let's do 1 minute.
Let's just talk a little bit about exercise snacks, which is a type of high-intensity interval training workout. It involves doing something at vigorous intensity, a vigorous intensity heart rate for 1 to 2 minutes. And they're often called exercise snacks because you can just do them whenever throughout the day. And I think this is very relevant because I just came across a study a couple of weeks ago that showed 10 body weight squats, 10 for every 45 minutes was more powerful at improving glucose homeostasis than a 30-minute walk. So I feel like that is it kind of puts it in context, because how easy is it to get up and do 10 body weight squats, right, every 45 minutes? I mean, it doesn't get easier than that.
Why is that relevant or important to somebody with POTS syndrome? A lot of people with POTS syndrome are dealing with some sort of metabolic issue, metabolic disease. Why are you so tired? Why do you feel so weak? It has to do with metabolic health. And a lot of people with POTS suffer from obesity or being underweight. This type of stuff is really important, making sure that you're able to build muscle tissue, right?
And there's also a reason to strategically time these exercise snacks, either 30 minutes to an hour before a meal or 30 minutes to an hour after a meal. So the timing of these exercise snacks has been shown in several studies in people with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance to really improve their glucose regulation after a meal. So their postprandial glucose regulation and their glucose disposal was improved. Again, because getting that high intensity exercise where you're generating some lactate, it's increasing GLUT4 transporters at the muscle, and that is then causing glucose to come into the muscle. It's lowering the burden of your pancreas to have to produce insulin, and it's improving glucose homeostasis. So exercise snacks around meals is an easy way to improve postprandial glucose regulation and glucose homeostasis. It's obviously very relevant for people with type 2 diabetes, but also, I think, for everyone. Exercise snacks has also been associated with a decrease in all-cause mortality. So there have been very large studies out of the UK Biobank data where people are wearing accelerometers, and they're part of the vigorous intermittent lifestyle activity studies that have been done, VILPA they're called, and what those studies have identified.
All right, let's just look at this instead of listening to her talk. 40% reduction in all-cause and cancer mortality, 50% cardiovascular related mortality compared to non-exercisers. Why is that relevant? I think it's pretty easy to figure out why that's relevant. High knees, stair sprinting, lunges, jump squats, chair squats, the glucose thing, glucose disposal and all that is really, I think that's pretty normal stuff to like kind of understand why that's important as well. So look, guys, whoa. Again, it doesn't need to be that same way where you need to do a high intensity workout for 2 minutes. It can just be that you go in and get your steps in. And this is something that's been talked about for a long time too, is actually timing out walks after eating. Now, timing out walks after eating, same thing, just kind of helps with blood sugar regulation. It's been shown to like increase fat loss, things of that nature. Again, because you're just kind of like, never mind. It's important, okay? It's good stuff. So what I take from that is that just because HIIT training shows to be the most beneficial for like mitochondria and developing new mitochondria and things of that nature, doesn't mean that doing non-intense exercise isn't beneficial. So making sure that you on purpose get your steps in at different times throughout the day, like timing it out, making sure that you actually get steps in multiple times a day is a godsend. Like I said, I even have people where I strategically give them workouts. So like, hey, if you can't do all these exercises in one go, that's totally fine. Just make sure that you do all the exercises throughout the day, because there's no evidence to suggest that that doesn't still build muscle and that doesn't still give you the effects that you want. Now, aerobically, it might not give you the effects that you are looking for, but we're not looking to be super athletes when we're starting to get better from POTS. At least that's my assumption, is that people are not looking to do that. They're looking to feel better, and be better. Ugh. No, come on. So, like the video if you are still on here and you haven't liked it already. It helps out with the algorithm, guys. Comment any questions that you might have. Now the next thing that I would really like to get into is freaking what's it called? Sauna and all that. But I don't think that the majority of you guys can handle sauna quite yet. I got to go to freaking Nashville this weekend, guys. I got to travel again. No excuses, though. No excuses for diet. No excuses for sticking to what I need to stick to. I probably won't be able to train the same, but there's not going to be any excuses for anything else. Dang, it is windy out, boy. This hurricane, man. It's affecting us all. Not actually. All right, guys, ask a couple more questions before I get off of here. It's been an hour and 8 minutes. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's live. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to do more research type of lives, if you want me to go, read some stuff, come back, do it kind of as like an educational live type thing or not. Other than that, please make sure that you like the video, share it with people that you think might benefit from it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Peace out. Goodbye.